All right, boys, you're looking at a mostly finished laundry room. The washer and dryer, the tabletop, we're all hooked up. My wife is no longer in the dungeon. We're no longer in the dungeon where the laundry used to be. Seriously, I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". My knees are bent. This is what we were dealing with. So now we are very happy to have looks like a 7-foot ceiling at least. Expose the beams and have insulation up there, and I ran some like trim pieces above this drywall to screw the drywall in. Got nice lights, well lit. Oh yeah. And everything's up and running. Got a little bench here, covered all the plumbing, but I can remove the bench and still get to the plumbing if we have a leak. So I need to retrim the window. It looks okay on this camera, but I assure you, in person, it is absolutely awful. This side over here is much wider. The window's not really in the wall straight. But everything else is coming together real nicely. So I've got like maybe a few days, like full days worth of work left in here. I need to caulk and paint the trim. I've got some spackle work to do, and I have a little bit more trim work to do. And so, you know, there's just a little bit more here's and there's to finish up. But we are getting close to completion, which means it's time to start thinking about the Firebird build. Let's get into it. Okay, pardon the nightmare that is my desk, but anyway, so I wanted to start thinking about what we want to do with this build here. I know for a fact that there are a few things that I'm not going to use and that I have replacements for. So let's start with the pots. So these are full-size pots. They're pre-wired, which is cool for anybody out there who has never done this before, or anybody who doesn't care about this stuff, which don't blame you if you don't. You know, a lot of times switching some of these things out can be a little bit smoke and mirrors. I totally get that. I have like a little OCD about pots and caps. So here's what I'm thinking. These are full-size pots, so I think I'm gonna just use these. I have no issue with these pots. They feel a little, the turn on them is nice and tight. It's not like a loose turn, so you can get a good sweep and post up really easily, and maybe if you knock your hand into it, it doesn't like, you know, mess anything up. So I think I'm going to use the pots, but the caps are these. Let's see, where should I show you? Right here. Them little green chiclets, which, again, you know, probably not a big deal, but I have some parts and stuff like that that I want to use. So give me just a second and we'll go through what I got. Let's see. Here's a Roswell, I believe that's a bridge pickup. The old bridge from my SG over there. I put this Goto on it. Some old P90s. I believe these are the, let's see, what do we have here? That's the OG. And then I have one, Oh, that's another Roswell humbucker. This is a gold neck humbucker. Hey, hit me up if y'all want some pickups. I got P90s here. I've got some humbuckers. If anybody needs a pickup, you know, any of my homies out there on YouTube needs a P90 neck or a humbucking neck pickup, or if anybody wants a knockoff, you know, actually, before I say that, how might that look on this? Do I need this on here? I'm going to save that. I'm not going to give that away to you guys yet. If I decide not to use it, so this is really sweet. So this is that drop-in plate. So you put the plate in the tailpiece, and then you can screw this to it. The problem is, and has always been, is that since I bought a knockoff Bigsby, the holes don't quite line up. Yeah, my holes don't line up, but I could drill a new hole in this thing. Anyway, this is a really cool little thing. So this could be going on this guitar. Maybe we'll do a community poll on that. Anyway, so we'll save that. The pickups though, if anybody needs some pickups, hit me up. I think I have, hold on. I also have this Tele bridge pickup, if anybody needs one. Got a Tele bridge pickup. I think I have some cream covers that'll fit onto it. So hit me up. Tele bridge, P90 neck, and a humbucking neck pickup. Hit me up. My email is in my channel details, so hit me up via email if you want something. I have another. I've got some Squier. These are this is a Squier bridge pickup for a Strat. Got that. Don't need that. Lots of covers and knobs and stuff. Some of these I'll be keeping around, but hit me up if you need something. Conversion posts. Tone Ninja. Very nice. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, this is what I was going for. So here's, yeah, these are full-size, like, Squier pots. So that's the same thing. I don't really need to swap these pots out for the same thing. But I do have, I believe I have some nicer pots in here. Aha. Okay, so here's some nice CTS pots that I think have gone unused. The thing about it is, I know one of them was like faulty or something like that. So, you know, I'll have to run some tests, make sure everything works. But actually, I think the faulty one is floating around somewhere else. Let's see. No, it's got to be one of these. Anyway, these are the same size. They're the same post thickness, roughly. So, yeah, so there's a good chance that these get used. You know, I think I threw the faulty one away now that I'm thinking about it. There's a good chance that these get used in conjunction with, you know, a couple of those. I don't see any problem with that. So, that's point number one. Next. Well, I can't seem to find it, but laying around here somewhere is a stash of vintage black and white cloth wiring. And so that is going to replace, you know, all of this less expensive, probably still fine wiring. I am going to replace all of this wiring piece by piece with the vintage cloth wire, because that's what I like. Not necessary probably, but I have this orange drop capacitor that I will be putting in at least one of these. I'll probably order a second one so that I can use two. So that's another thing that's going to change, is the capacitors. So that's kind of the plan for the wiring. We'll use these two CTS. We'll use two of the pots that have been provided from Solo Guitars. Thank you, Solo, for partially sponsoring this for the discount. That's very awesome. So the other thing is probably going to be a pure tone jack or something of that sort. I will get a different jack, so that's gonna be changed out. Now I know, you know, it's kind of like, well, you know, if you ordered one of these, what would you get? I'm showing you what you would get. I'm telling you what I personally am going to do. If you get this guitar and you want to slap paint on it and just get to playing it, I am 100% certain it's going to be fine. We are going to play with the original pickups, but I have a set of Lawler Firebird pickups. Also, thank you to Lawler for the discount code on these. So these are 100% going in that guitar in its final formation. With that being said, ooh, saucy. With that being said, if anybody out there fancies themselves a set of Firebird pickups, I can give these away to a subscriber at the end of this video series. So if you stick with me to the end, let me know. Maybe we'll do that. On the last video, I'll put a link, or I'll drop a pinned comment saying, let me know if you want some Firebird pickups, and we'll give these away to one of you guys at the end. So anyway, that being said, we have our pickups and our wiring sort of figured out. We're going to use, you know, these things to replace some of what's in here. I've got my cloth wire somewhere around here that we'll use. The next item on the list is the tuners. I can tell you with 100% certainty. Oh wait, before we jump over to that, this switch is also going to get replaced. This is a jiggly, rattly PCB switch. I will be buying a proper Gibson style switch for this, so we will not be using this switch. This one actually does bother me a lot. I basically I'm all the way out on any PCB switches. You see I've got my one from my Harley Benton right here. This one actually feels much better than this one, so I could do it at no cost and just use this switch, but I prefer the wafer board switches personally, and these PCB ones, I don't like them, so I'm not going to use it. If that bothers you, let me know. Anyway, what were we talking about? Tuners. Okay. So I have here, I believe from Music Lily, a set of locking, you know, 6-in-line Strat style tuners. So I'm thinking about using I like the vintage oval button on them. The other thing was I was debating whether or not to go relic on this, but since the pickups are non-relict, I don't think that I will. I think I'll try and make it shiny. Yeah, so hear that play in the tuner? That can't be. I can't have it. It's just my OCD or whatever you want to call it. So we are not going to use these tuners. And I want to use these, but as you can see, maybe, hopefully you can see, these ones are a little taller. So I'm kind of wondering, maybe they're about the same. Flush to flush, they're about the same. So let's stick one of these in the neck and just see how that kind of looks and feels. Oh no. They're the wrong direction, you guys. They would all be hanging towards the bottom side. They're for 6 in line on this side. Okay, so I think, based on this discovery, we're going to be ordering some new tuners. Also, you see all that extra play there in the hole. So these are actually routed for the wider style, which I think is why these ended up not getting used on my Strat. So, tuners have made the list of things to buy for this project. We are going to purchase some different tuners. Again, kind of defeats the purpose of buying the kit and getting everything all in one shot, but it is what it is. I can't have these tuners be janky. I need them to be good. So that being said, bye to these. We will not use those. A pickup comparison will be part of this video series, so that will happen. I am going to put the original pickups in there, but let me put these back in the bag so I don't lose them. If y'all want some free pickups, I got a bunch lying around that I am not probably ever going to use. So hit your boy up. Let's see. Back plate. I'm gonna use that. Knobs. Don't see any problem with those. Use those. I have some other random knobs. These are the originals for my 76 or 78 Deluxe. I put on the 70s style like these, but gold on it. And I kept those because, of course. All right, so let's talk about bridge and tailpiece. I think these are going to be just fine. This has some nice weight to it. No marking on the back, but it feels really nice. I don't see any problem with that. And let's check out the bridge. Oh yeah, that feels pretty good. There's good movement in the screws. Not a lot of slop in the fit with the post, and it looks properly cut, which I'm kind of surprised about. So a lot of times, maybe you can see right there by my fingertip, and then if you go over to here, it's actually cut smaller. Come on, focus up. There we go. So a lot of times they're all just cut to the same depth and width. This one appears to have a lot more attention to detail on that. So I can actually tell which side's supposed to be the, the bass string side and which side's supposed to be the high E string side. So that is fantastic. So we are probably going to just stick with these parts. I don't see any reason to change them. The quality seems good, and I'm happy with that. That's nice. That's less money. So where are we at here? What do we need? We need one orange drop capacitor to complete my set. We need to find my vintage style wiring, sorry. We need to print a decal for the pick guard. I'm not sure if I'm just going to make it be a Firebird decal or not, but probably not. I'll probably pick make my own logo or name or something like that for it. That would be a lot of fun. And actually the name will probably go on the next thing we're going to talk about. So in the headstock pre-pack here, there is a little truss rod cover, and frankly that's just not going to fly. That dog don't hunt for me. I want a Firebird style truss rod cover. So that means that I need to find, let's keep these out. I need to find like one of them long, and it should be easy enough to find on eBay or maybe even Amazon if I'm lucky. So we're going to find a black Firebird style truss rod cover. One of the ones that snakes up and down. So we're gonna find that, the little bird beak style thing. The last thing is that this nut is surely some type of plastic. And here I have a Gibson style Tusk nut. Let's listen. And then here I have a genuine bone nut. And you can hear hopefully you can hear the difference on those. That's the bone. That's the Tusk. Much lighter on the Tusk. I kind of like the weight of the bone nut here. That's nice. Tusk. And wonder how glued this is. There we go. Check that out. Put a ding in it. We'll use the soldering iron. I have so much sanding to do on this stuff, you guys. It's not even close. We'll use the soldering iron and wet towel trick to try and fix that. Okay. So what's nice about this is it lets us see if we're actually dealing with wood on the fretboard, which it appears that we are. Very tight grain. All right, so let's do the drop test here. I'm gonna have to file that down. Here, listen. Listen to that. That's the nut, the one that came with it. Which, whatever. There's the, okay, bone, Tusk, plastic. There's just no weight there on that plastic nut. And looks like the bone one needs to get filed. It's a little too wide, so it'd have to get filed on the sides down quite a bit. Let's try the Tusk. The Tusk is basically a perfect fit. I would need to just ease the edges ever so gently. And as far as the height goes, the tusk nut is basically tit for tat, like the same size, same depth, which means it's probably closer to cut properly. So I think that's our champ right there. We'll go with the tusk. Plus, it matches the binding a lot better. It's not quite perfect, but it's way better than having the yellowed against that. It's a little too yellow. I'd rather be a little too light than a little too yellow. So less, screwing around with the width and the depth on this one. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. It looks high though. Like the nut slots look real high on that. Let's take a look. It's basically the same. Well, I will have to do some nut slot filing on those, which is always a little scary, but we'll get it on there and try it out and see how it is. Definitely sticks up a little bit more than the original. So maybe we'll just file some height off of it and get it dropped down in there. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, the other thing that I'm thinking, bear with me, is that I want to darken the fretboard a little bit. You can see it here. That's pretty nice. It's got some good activity going on in the fretboard there. But, why not darken it a little bit? I've got everything off. I need to file the sharp fret ends down. The fret ends are sharp. I do live in a very, very dry climate, so it's probably my fault and not Solo Guitars' fault. So I will be filing down those sharp fret edges. But I have this wood finish stain marker. This is ebony. It's very dark. And so what I may do is just run some sandpaper gently over the fretboard to kind of remove any, like maybe, overspray from the wood sealer, because this has been wood sealed on the back of the neck. So there's probably some overspray there. And just, gently sand the fretboard a little bit and then hit it with the pen and darken the fretboard up. Yeah, and that way we can just give it a shot and see if we can darken this fretboard. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is I don't think I will go with the banjo tuners. I would like to, but they're very expensive. From what I have seen, they're just really, really pricey. So I think we'll go with something akin to what we looked at earlier, something with the oval shape, but that fit in this headstock and are facing the right direction. So I'll need like left hand 6-in-line vintage style tuners. Or, maybe things have changed. I can maybe find a set of banjo tuners that are reasonably priced. I don't want to spend too much extra cash on this build. I am okay with spending a little extra money to get what I really want out of this guitar build. And that's part of the fun of doing something like this, is you can do whatever you like. So that being said, I think that we kind of have our marching orders. We need a new set of tuners. We need a Firebird style a truss rod cover. We need probably a fret filing or a nut filing kit. I don't have anything for that, and I need to get some. And what's the other thing we need? Okay, let's do the shopping list. Tuners, truss rod cover, orange drop capacitor. I think we have everything else we need. So that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to kind of go through my thought process on the build. If you guys have suggestions, requests, if you're interested in the free pickups that I threw up here, the Firebird ones we're not going to lust after in the comments yet. But if you need a Tele bridge, a Strat bridge, like just for whatever, they're not like super nice or anything. These are, that's ceramic. I believe this one is ceramic as well. It might be Alnico, but a Roswell. Which one's this? I have 2 gold neck humbuckers, gold-plated neck humbuckers from Roswell. They sound really good. I really like them. So Strat bridge, Tele bridge, humbucker neck, or a P90 neck. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you're interested. I can send them to you, or just go straight over to my email. It's just Sean Plays with a Z guitar at Gmail. Sean Plays with a Z guitar YT at gmail.com. But the exact email address is in the channel description. And then we'll mess with the Bigsby knockoff. Maybe that's something that we got to do. Hit me up. Let me know if you think I should put the Bigsby on it. It works pretty good. I've used it on my other Harley Benton kit build before, and it works pretty good. I opted for GFS X-Trem for that guitar. I like that a little better, but maybe the Bigsby style just really suits this. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you think I should do the Bigsby. Let me know if you think there's anything I'm missing. Let me know if you think my opinions are terrible, about the cloth wire or the caps or changing the pots out. Again, I just have some of this stuff lying around, so I just figure that's what it's for. It's for tinkering, and why not use it? And yeah, we'll start doing little bits to this guitar. The next video on this might be a shopping for parts video. I think that would be good. So maybe we'll shop for some parts online together. I'll pull up the screen over here, and we can look for some tuners, and it'll be fun. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Got a couple of Tone Deep episodes coming up, and stay tuned for more on the Firebird. Plug that thing in, play it. Unless it's not built yet.